Hello friends, in class 12th unit 5 surface chemistry, in this video we will discuss about catalysis, promoters and poisons, homogeneous and heterogeneous catalysis, adsorption theory of heterogeneous catalysis, safe selective catalysis and enzyme catalysis. First of all, what is the meaning of catalysis? Substances which accelerate the rate of reaction and themselves remain chemically and quantitatively unchanged after the reaction are known as catalysts, and this phenomena is known as catalysis. Actually, these are the substances which take part in the reaction, but after the completion of reaction they again appear. That's why they chemically remains unchanged. Okay. Berzelius in 1835 was the first who gave the name catalyst. For example, this is potassium chlorate. When heated, it produces this oxygen. But at the normal condition, rate of reaction is very slow. But when we add this manganese dioxide MnO2, rate is accelerated. Promoters and poisons. Promoters are substances that enhance the activity of catalyst, while poisons decrease the activity of a catalyst. For example, in Haber process for manufacture of ammonia, catalyst is iron, but this molybdenum acts as a promoter for iron, which is used as a catalyst. N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. Catalysis can be broadly divided into the two groups, homogeneous and heterogeneous catalysis. First come to homogeneous. When reactants, products and the catalyst, three things, reactants, products and catalyst are in the same phase, the process is said to be homogeneous catalysis. Like oxidation of SO2 into SO3 with dioxygen in the presence of oxides of nitrogen as the catalyst in the lead chamber process. See, this SO2, O2, this NO and SO3 all are in gaseous phase. See, this is the hydrolysis of methyl acetate. Okay. Now in this case, all these are in the presence of H plus ion. This is also in the aqueous form. That's why this is same phase, liquid, liquid. This is aqueous, and this is also aqueous. Hydrolysis of sugar. This is in aqueous solution of sugar, H2O, in the presence of acid, which are taking in the aqueous form. It produces the glucose and fructose. Okay, mixture of these two. All these are in the aqueous form. The reactants and products are in the same phase. But if the catalytic process in which the reactants and the catalyst are in different phases is known as heterogeneous catalyst. See, oxidation of sulfur dioxide into sulfur trioxide in the presence of platinum. Now this is solid, this is gas. Haber process we already discussed. In this case, all are the gases, but this is solid. Ostwald process, this is used for the manufacturing of nitric acid. In this case, the reactants are gases, products are also gases, but catalyst is platinum solid. In the same way, hydrogenation of vegetable oil in the presence of finely divided nickel as a catalyst. This is liquid, this is gas, and this is solid. Okay, all are in the different phases. Adsorption theory of heterogeneous catalysis. Modern adsorption theory is the combination of intermediate compound formation theory. This we have discussed in the chemical kinetics, if you remember. Reactants react and form one activated complex. Okay, and the old adsorption theory. Old adsorption theory says the reaction is taking place when gas molecules adsorb on the catalyst. Okay, but this modern theory take the concept of both. The catalytic activity is localized on the surface of the catalyst. The mechanism involves 5 steps. First one is diffusion of reactants to the surface of the catalyst, adsorption of reactant molecules on the surface of catalyst, occurrence of chemical reaction on catalyst surface through formation of an intermediate. Desorption of reaction products from the catalyst surface and thereby making the surface available again for more reaction to occur. And finally, diffusion of reaction products away from the catalyst surface. With the help of diagram, we can explain. This is catalyst surface having free valencies. These valencies are free. These are the reacting molecules. Okay, that's why adsorption of reacting molecules taking place with these free valencies. Okay, this the adsorption is taking place, and then an intermediate is formed. This is the intermediate. Okay, and from this intermediate, desorption of product molecule is taking place, and again catalyst is generated. This theory explains why the catalyst remains unchanged in mass and chemical composition at the end of the reaction and is effective even in small quantities. It, however, does not explain the action of catalytic promoters and catalytic poisons. Now, important features of solid catalysis. Two features we will discuss. Activity. The activity of a catalyst depends upon the strength of chemisorption to a large extent. Reactant must get adsorbed reasonably strongly onto the catalyst to become active. It has been found that for hydrogenation reaction, the catalytic activity increases from group 5 to group 11 metals, with the maximum activity being shown by group 7 to 9 elements of periodic table. Simply we can say activity tells about the strength of the chemisorption. More the stronger bond, more the activity of catalyst. Next one is selectivity. The selectivity of catalyst is ability to direct a reaction to yield a particular product selectively. We can say same reactants may produce different products if we change the catalyst. See, in this case, in all these reactions, reactants are same: carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Carbon monoxide and hydrogen, carbon monoxide and hydrogen. But in this case, catalyst is nickel. It produces methane. In this case, this is copper, zinc oxide and chromium oxide. Product is methanol. In this case, this is copper. Product is formaldehyde. This is called selectivity. Shape selective catalysis. The catalytic reaction that depends upon the, remember, pore structure. Clear? Depends upon the pore structure of the catalyst, and the size of the reactant and product molecule is called shape selective catalysis. Zeolites are good shape selective catalysts because of their honeycomb-like structure. They are microporous aluminosilicates. If you remember, in class 11th, we have discussed silicates and aluminosilicates with a three-dimensional network of silicates in which some silicon atoms are replaced by aluminum atoms, giving ALOSI framework. Zeolites are being very widely used as catalyst in petrochemical industries for cracking of hydrocarbons and isomerization. An important zeolite catalyst used in the petroleum industry is ZSM5, and it converts alcohols directly into gasoline, that is petrol, by dehydrating them to give a mixture of hydrocarbons. This is again one of the important points of this chapter, shape selective catalysis. Enzyme catalysis. Enzymes are complex nitrogenous protein molecules of high molecular mass which are produced by living plants and animals. Enzymes are termed as biochemical catalysts. Why? Why they are biochemical? Because they accelerate the biochemical reaction. Okay, and this phenomena is known as biochemical catalysis. You can see. Enzyme invertase. Source is yeast. It converts sucrose into glucose and fructose. Gymase, yeast, glucose into ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide. Diastase, malt, starch into maltose. Maltase, from yeast, maltose into glucose, urease from soybean, urea into ammonia and carbon dioxide, pepsin, stomach, convert proteins into amino acids. What are the characteristics of enzyme catalysis? Most highly efficient. One molecule of an enzyme may transform 1 million molecules of the reactant per minute. Highly specific in nature. Each enzyme is specific for a given reaction. That is, one catalyst cannot catalyze more than one reaction. For example, the enzyme urease catalyzes the hydrolysis of urea only. It does not catalyze hydrolysis of any other amide. Highly active under optimum temperature. Generally, this rate of an enzyme reaction becomes maximum at a definite temperature, and that is called optimum temperature. And this optimum temperature is generally 298 to 310 Kelvin. Our body temperature is in this range. That's why enzyme work in our body. Highly active under optimum pH. Again, this pH value is 5 to 7. In this case, in this range, they are highly active. Increasing activity in presence of activators and coenzymes. I think biology student can understand these two terms. What is a coenzyme and activators? Now just see, the enzymatic activity is increased when a small known protein, part, generally this is vitamin, and this is called coenzyme, is present along with an enzyme. Activators are generally metal ions such as sodium, manganese, cobalt, copper, etc. These metal ions, when weakly bonded to enzyme molecules, increase their catalytic activity. Amylase in presence of sodium chloride. Sodium chloride gives Na plus ions, are catalytically very active. Influence of inhibitors and poisons like normal catalyst. The inhibitors or poisons interact with the active functional groups on the enzyme surface and often reduce or completely destroy the catalytic activity of enzymes. Mechanism of enzyme catalysis. This is generally key and lock mechanism. Okay, as we know, if you have the standard lock, each lock is opened with the help, or closed and opened with the help of one particular key. In the same way, number of cavities present on the surface of colloidal particles of enzyme, and these cavities are of characteristic shape and possess active groups such as NH2, COOH, SHOH, etc. These are actually the active centers on the surface of enzyme particles. The molecules of the reactant, that reactant is known as substrate, which have complementary shape, fit into these cavities just like a key fits into a lock. Try to understand with the help of this diagram. This is enzyme, that is a catalyst. This have a specific shape like this. Okay, and this substrate, this is the reactant. This substrate at the active site. Okay, we can say shape of this and this are complementary to each other. This can fit into this easily, and that's why this is formed enzyme substrate complex. This is intermediate, and this is decomposed to give enzyme and product. That's why we can say reaction is taking place in the two step. Okay, first one is binding of enzyme to substrate to form a activated complex. That E is enzyme, S for substrate, it form activated complex, and decomposition of the activated complex to form product E and P. Clear? Now, catalyst in the industries. Haber process. Many times we have discussed about this. This is used for the manufacturing of ammonia when nitrogen and hydrogen is react. Catalyst is finally divided iron, and molybdenum is promoter. Conditions are 200 bar pressure and 723 to 773 Kelvin temperature. But nowadays a mixture of iron oxide, potassium oxide and alumina is used. Another one is the Ostwald process for the manufacturing of nitric acid. These are the reactions taking place in this case. Ammonia, when react with the 5O oxygen, it will convert into NO and 6H2O. This NO react with the O2, form NO2, and this NO2 react with the H2 and O2, it form HNO3. In this case, this is a platinized asbestos and temperature is 573 Kelvin. Next is the contact process for the manufacture of sulfuric acid. In this case, this is SO2 will convert into SO3. Then this SO3 is dissolved in H2SO4. This form H2H2O7. This is called oleum. And when this oleum is diluted with the water, it forms H2SO4. And this catalyst is platinized asbestos or vanadium pentaoxide V2O5. And temperature is 673 to 723. I think you have understood all the concept. Thank you.